Okie dokie. Welcome back to the Midheaven Podcast. My name is Candace Murray.
And I am the Peace Dealer, aka Michael. And we are here to express another episode that will leave you blessed.
Clearly I fucked up and I misnumbered the podcast the last time. So I'm trying to figure out, I don't remember, is this now
11 or 12?
10 or is it 11?
I think it's 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
11. No, it's 11.
It's 11?
It's 11.
Oh,
yeah, it's 11.
Yeah. It's 11.
Okay.
It's 11.
Back on track.
Yeah.
I probably should just stop telling you what number this is because I'm kind of fucking it up. So
it's definitely 11.
We're back and we are now
double digits.
Yeah, we've made it to double digits. That's exciting. It has been it's been a very eventful week in the world. Anything that piqued your interest this week?
I saw an argument with Kevin Samuels with some OnlyFans girls. And they were arguing about the longevity of OnlyFans and how it's basically like an online strip club or escort, even though not everyone does sex work there. But they were basically talking about how, you know, you're going to get a lot of money now, but it might not be, unless you have a brand, that lucrative in 5 years. Other than that, the only thing else I heard about was the police brutality and taser mishap.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about that.
Right.
But I mean, I'm all here for OnlyFans also, especially since, like, should I say this? Okay, I'm gonna say this anyway. I have some clients who are definitely on OnlyFans and they're making some money. And I joked about being like, oh, that's an interesting way to make money. I mean, I'm on the internet, so like.
But it is an interesting way
to make money. It's an interesting way to make money, definitely obviously, especially given what's going on economically. And truth be told, I have not ventured into looking into OnlyFans. Like, I know what it is, but I haven't looked at it. But I started thinking about it and I was like, you know, there's like so much like weird like fetish stuff out there. And I didn't find out. I've known of this and I joke about it with my little sister, which is probably horrible. But you know, like that whole like porn fetish thing with like girls who sit on cakes?
Oh, no.
Oh, well, let me enlighten you.
My research tonight, though, just to, you know.
Because so like for me, I mean, I'm on the internet, like I can't like be, I don't know if I could do it anyway because I'm like very shy and self-conscious, but part of me is also like, I love cake, I have a fat ass, why not give it a shot, right? Like, if you can make money and sit on cakes for a living, I seriously thought about it for about a week, and then I was just like,
oh, that's it? They just sit on cakes?
You just sit on cakes.
What?
Right? And, like, what if you could, like, serve it up and basically be like, cool, if you want to, like, sponsor me and send me $50 or $100, like, I'll get a cake made, I'll put your name on it, and I'll sit on it.
That's insane.
But then the more that I thought about it, I was like, you're probably not going to be taken seriously professionally. Because I have just, like, very discriminating tattoos, too.
Right.
So unless I'm going to do it, like, fully sleeved with, like, a furry hat on, so nobody knows that it's me.
The anonymous shit, I think, is genius moving forward because, like, it will preserve your identity. You know what I'm saying? Keep it a mystery. Although I question what you say because I agree that it could be harder to, but we're entering such weirder times.
Uranus is going through my 8th house, so I'm like, I could make money doing that.
Right, but like, who's to say that the future employers won't be into all this weird shit? And so,
bitch, I am my future employer.
Oh,
I'm never working for nobody ever again.
Spoken like a true Aries moon. I love it.
But yeah, so now I'll make sure that I show you like lots of footage of cake sitting, just for like research.
That's a
purposes,
thing.
I
knew the foot thing was a thing. My friend, my Taurus sun, Pisces moon, male friend was talking about he got paid $400 for a picture of his feet, and this dude wanted to pay him like $1,200 a week just to talk to him. And I was like, damn,
we're in the wrong business.
Right, like
Pisces moon.
I thought it was exclusively women too that this happens to, but you know, I'm gonna get that 6-pack and you gonna find my OnlyFans, and yeah, I don't do nudes yet, but unless you pay that VF, but it's all good.
I guess that's cool, right? Like you have like the benefit of like doing whatever you want to do. Like you don't necessarily have to show everything, but like
Gotta tease.
Man, I don't know. I can't do that. I give it away for free. Fuck. I'm not even getting cake out of it.
But it's not this. It's not some random person on the internet though, and you know, there.
True, that's true.
You get to there's some longevity
about,
here.
like some. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Nope. That's the one thing that I think would like keep me from doing that too. Is just like thinking about that. But
the long term is always beneficial. But stuff like this is great for the short term because you will get paid for maybe a few months to a couple years, and hopefully you have a game plan. Hopefully you're investing that money. If you think it's like a fountain of wealth, you know, you're gonna
also
get
like
a really
it's
awakened.
also kind of like modeling. Like when you think about it,
Right,
like there's always going to be somebody who's younger, fitter, whatever.
Exactly.
So there's like a time period. So I guess if you can get it in internet days.
OnlyFans consultations. If you want to take your OnlyFans to the next level, talk to me. Don't be showing these titties for less than $40. I don't understand why some of y'all do that. I don't get like fucking the game up. You know what I'm saying? Got to tease these dudes. You know what I'm saying?
I saw your post about that and I was laughing my ass off. I was like, what would the price of showing your tits be?
Okay, nothing less than 100. But if you're really about it, nothing less than 500 or 1,000. It has to be unattainable. Like once you drop that standard and you're showing your tits for less than 50, why am I gonna pay you? I already saw your melons. Why am I gonna pay you more than 100? Like you're establishing a low standard, and like it sucks because men don't give a fuck. Like women don't have to really be polished because men will pay for anything.
I love that you're like putting it out there and being like it should be hundreds of dollars.
And listen, I used to be young and naive and be like, oh, I hate when women do that teasing shit. Show me the tits, show me everything. And then, you know, after years of being on Instagram where you just see it all for free, it's like, put some fucking clothes on, like tease me already, like make me want it, like what the fuck. And I get it now. So
yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've ever put a price on it, but I feel like I'm getting to that age where if I were to do it, I would definitely charge because I'm going to be like, bitch, these aren't going to pay for themselves.
Right.
Like if you want top quality, you're going to help finance the left one or the right one, whichever you want.
And some people do buy it, so they're returning on their investment. You know what I mean?
Right.
I would do that if I had a girlfriend or if I had a friend who I managed and I was in a position to buy her a body and we were gonna like set her up and like do all that stuff.
That's some real OG shit. Like I feel like if you have a man that's gonna be like, honey, I'm gonna buy you some tits, I would be like,
I got the camera, I got the production set. If you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it right. You're not gonna be my partner looking sloppy in these streets. We get you a 4K camera, all that. Like, it is what it is. It is what it is. Damn.
Oh, I can tell we're almost in Taurus season. I'm digging Venus's ingress into Taurus yesterday. It happened and I was like, oh shit. I feel relieved. It feels a little bit better. Then again, it's like also going through my 8th house. So
Venus return.
Oh yeah, that's right. When is it? What degree is it?
14.
Okay, so you got a minute. You got a minute.
Yeah.
So yours is going to happen after all the Uranus stuff. So we're going to talk about that too, because I want to talk about all the planets that are going to go through Taurus soon and how they're going to dance with Uranus. But going back to what you were talking about, so this is like kind of where the podcast takes like a little bit more of a serious turn. But the police brutality in the news this week has been like ungodly.
Well, there's so many different perspectives. So if I was looking at this from outside this planet as an alien, I'm like, oh my God, guys, the sitcom America is heating up again. Remember last year when they killed George Floyd? Well, somehow, close to a year after, they killed this other dude. And think about all the tension that was about to blow up. Now war is inevitable because like people were already threatening, if Derek Chauvin gets acquitted, we're gonna burn down more buildings, right?
Yeah.
And which I think is also kind of unfair to Actually, no. This is a lot about how people are feeling. But now this dude died, so like there's no turning back.
Okay, so like this week has been nuts. So first of all, the most recent victim of the police brutality, I'm trying to read my handwriting, Dante Wright in Minnesota. So pretty much within the vicinity of where this other incident happened with George Floyd. Except this time it was a woman police officer who had been on, I guess, like in duty for like 20 plus years. She had served for a while.
20 plus years?
Yeah.
Shit.
I feel like it was like 16. It was either 16 or 20 or more. But she had been a cop for a while and apparently pulled a taser instead of a gun.
She looked like someone who didn't have that much training.
Excuse me. She thought she was pulling a taser, but she pulled her gun.
So, I mean, oh no, keep going. My bad.
No, it's fine. No, I was just correcting it. But except this time, instead of it being this long, drawn out thing, it was like they took her in and she's been charged with second-degree manslaughter. Right.
Well, okay, manslaughter.
Yes.
Did she murder him? She did not murder him. She genuinely thought she had to take her. Does she need to lose her job? ASAP. You don't just like accidentally shoot someone with a gun when you're supposed to uphold the law.
So I was thinking about this and I was like, okay, Saturn, that being like people in uniforms and like officers and things, Saturn square Uranus, electricity. So, I mean, to me, it makes sense. That's still, I mean, maybe that's grasping at straws, but it's still going to bring up the stuff that we talked about, how there's more protests coming. We've been talking about this for like over a month. We were like, look, this isn't going to calm down. It's going to get crazier.
So when we look at the situation as the situation, right? Like he should like, there's no excuse. Like he should have never died. That's period. And she should have never shot him with a gun. At the same time, and a lot of people don't want to hear this. All right, Philando Castile did not resist. He got shot. Kevin Garner got choked. You feel me? He resisted. He literally ran into the car. This is what created a crisis situation for a trained officer to pull a taser. Who needs to get fired? She better not get her job back. But to pull a gun instead of a taser. So the demonization against her and the false narratives to be on this fuck the police shit is not helping anybody, because that's the narrative that Dante heard and felt justified in running from the cops, is getting our own people killed still. So, you know, everyone's at fault on both sides, but you can't blame people who are angry at seeing this in the news. And the way that the media is twisted, it's the media who's really at fault, because you lose sight of knowledge that, you know, even though there's more percentage of white people in the population, the way they're talking about this, you wouldn't think that white people are also getting shot as well. They're trying to make it look like it's only black people who are getting shot. And I think that's disrespectful to black people, because you're lying to them and you're embroiling all these negative feelings. And that's what makes me feel like it can't be a coincidence that all this is cycling around again, even though incompetent police officers is a huge problem. I have 3 instances of racism from cops and just incompetent work. But you know, and not no buts, like incompetent police work needs to be like addressed. But this narrative is making it sound like every police officer is some evil, like crap.
It's interesting that you talk about like the narrative that they're creating in media, because something else I was looking at is that apparently, so there was a shooting in March in Chicago, no surprise, but it was, okay, not funny, but like body cam footage is going to be released pretty soon from a shooting of a 13-year-old. So a 13-year-old gets shot. By the way, I don't think the kid was black.
Probably. Really?
I don't think the kid was black. No, I was looking at the article. I don't think the kid was black, but they're finally going to release the body cam footage, and it's going to be, it's a shit show. So between that, this most recent event that happened with the lady cop who thought she was using the taser, and recently in the George Floyd trial, the officer recently just pleaded the Fifth Amendment.
Wait, oh, Derek pleaded the Fifth? Mm-hmm. It's war. It's going down.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. With the Dante Wright thing, if that was you resisting arrest and running in a car, would you have gotten shot?
As a white woman?
Yeah. Would she have pulled out her taser to shoot you?
Probably not, no.
And that's why people are
probably not. And that's the thing. It's like, you know, that's the unfortunate thing. Yeah. Is it because I'm white? Maybe. Is it because I'm a woman?
I would say
there might have been more
woman.
leniency there being a woman than.
I think if he was a white male, he probably still might have gotten shot, because we see statistically it happens. But, you know, that's the stuff that's going to make people mad and feel like, oh, see, you know, it's a double standard and there is some kind of prejudice motivated in it. But what doesn't help anybody is to twist these narratives to get people pissed off.
But yeah, we're still coming out of the Mars and Gemini square Neptune. And something I was thinking about a lot is just, you know, how that's really the media twisting narrative of a lot of things, and like a lot of people not practicing active listening skills, and
Facts.
a lot of people who are
believing what they see on the headlines. And like at one level they do deserve to be outraged because this is what they keep on being shown. It's an illusion.
right.
And they're being manipulated. And now that makes me think, do the insurance companies get something to gain by all these places getting rioted and looted in the fashion they are? I mean, that's more delving into conspiracy territory, but astrologically, if we think about how certain events happen, I just can't shake the feeling that it doesn't have to be something a human did, but it's almost like a sequence of events as if we're in some apocalypse cycle or something.
I mean, this is just, it's gonna keep going on. We're building towards the next Saturn-Uranus square in June, and I feel that's just going to be totally insane during the retrogrades and the eclipses. Something else that caught my eye was a congressman from Florida, Matt Gaetz, I think. So apparently there's this big scandal that's breaking about a sex crime probe.
Whoa.
And the feds have seized his iPhone, and they have been going through his phone and also collaborating and working with a friend of his who is willingly working with the authorities. I guess it's the feds, because there was talk about him participating in hanging out with younger women and trading like sex and trading money. I have to tell you a funny story about that in a second. Trading money and gifts for sex, and like supposedly like women connected to sex trafficking.
Quid pro quo. Wow.
Yeah, so that's going on, and I'm not going to say his friend's rolling him under the bus because I don't know, but the fact that like his friend has been like working with the feds for like apparently several months.
That's because the feds were like, look, we're throwing you in jail unless you cooperate. What you snitch?
Why is the GOP not making a bigger deal about this?
Is he a Republican?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's why.
I mean, you know,
if he
Trump's
was a
not gonna come
if he was a
and save you
Democrat,
now.
well, see, that's the thing, because a lot of Republicans sold Trump out too. They got their seats. They're like, all right, bye. We didn't like you anyway.
Politicians in general are dirty. It doesn't. It
Republicans
has
and
nothing to do
Democrats.
With, it has nothing to do with the party affiliation. But I think it's interesting that this is like popping up, because I'm like, man, this like Saturn in Aquarius square Uranus is just like really bringing out all of like the indulgences. Like if you're participating in sex crimes, in money crimes, in maybe even drugs. That's the other thing that came out. They were talking about like they basically were alluding that he was involved with like drugs and sex trafficking. I mean, obviously they go hand in hand, but
this tastes like peanut butter. This is awesome. But yeah, I'm so excited.
You want some jelly and some white bread?
I guess shit. My taste buds are on one today. But yeah, I mean, that's very fascinating to me how these people get away with it, because you look at him, he's a congressman. You're like, he's not going to do that.
But
he's
everything goes in Florida. It's Florida and Florida and Nevada is like the Wild West. You know, you got a bunch of old white dudes that prostitutes and sex trafficking and
at least it's
laundering.
Legal in Nevada, though. It's not legal in Florida.
Oh, well.
Not sex trafficking, but
obviously you've never been to Miami.
Oh, I've never been to Miami. You're right. Oh, hey, what's up, Miami?
It's a Pisces city. They like to party.
Oh.
It's like Pisces Leo energy. It's like both.
Okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Pricey.
So I guess we'll stay tuned to see what happens with that stuff. It's really unfortunate that a lot of this stuff is still going on out
so
in the world.
He's not operating alone. He's probably gonna end up revealing who else is a part of it too, because
I think his friend is somehow gonna be the guy who's gonna, you know, roll him under the bus. It sounds like it, but I just think it's weird, and it's been like a top, you know, kind of story for like the last like 24 48 hours, and I looked at it yesterday, and I was looking at some other articles today. I don't know. I mean,
what happened to Ghislaine Maxwell? Like, that just went out the window.
Isn't she going to prison?
I have no idea.
I feel like she is.
So the trial happened for her already.
I don't know.
I want to follow her trial because she has Saturn in Capricorn, And
you make it sound like she's gonna stay around.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think she might, if she didn't go to jail, I think she might either get a light sentence or she might, because she's a Capricorn woman. I think they have a special affinity. I think
Jeffrey Epstein is still alive.
Oh, me too. Yo, yeah.
Okay, so it's not just me.
Oh, no, I almost know first of all, he's an Aquarius, so he knows everybody. Second of all, he's a billionaire. So plastic surgery, would you know? And that's the thing, like, I don't know why people trust autopsy reports that they weren't there for. From officials that have done other celebrity reports that, I mean, come on, how can you be an inmate in jail and the camera's not on you? Like, I think that's why 2020 was so crazy, because people already knew the government lied to us, but this is just like, I don't know. It's interesting, but yeah, he's alive. He's definitely alive. He's not dead.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't know. It's just,
or he got killed. The only other thing that he didn't commit suicide. So either he's alive or he got killed to be hushed.
If he got killed, that smells like, I mean, just like the fake suicide, that just smells like the Clintons to me. I could be wrong.
Oh yeah. Shout out to the Clintons. Y'all are adorable. I mean,
that's like a Leo Scorpio.
Ooh. And I don't know why I feel like Bill is just like, save me. Save me from Hillary.
I feel like because she's stuck by his side through the whole Lewinsky thing.
Right.
And I really think she's a power lesbian. Like, have you seen some of her suits?
Ooh, that's some
So I feel like that was like a union that happened, like because
an arranged marriage.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like that was a power couple that started decades ago, and it was like, okay, cool, so you're trying to take over the world, me too, so we're gonna link up, we're gonna get married,
and
you do whatever you want to do, just don't be messy.
All of that shit
for sure. I mean, why do you think Bill stood by her through the whole process of everything that's happened with, like, you know, the Benghazi stuff and everything with her, you know, going out for president, and just like, I don't know. I also saw recently Biden was making some comments where he was like threatening Russia and Putin. It was like, if you try to meddle with the elections anymore, like blah, blah, blah. Because he's always had like some weird kind of like beef with Putin. That goes back to like the Obama days.
Well, shout out to Putin for calling him out and being like, hey, bitch, like if you want to debate live, I will smoke your ass on television. But he didn't want that. I don't understand. And I love Biden just being like, listen, I only get to rig the elections here. Don't do this. Don't touch this.
Uncle Joe. I've been watching some of the memes about him falling on the stairs on Air Force One.
Right. He cheated fair and square, so you need to just allow him his 4 years.
Hashtag 12th house Scorpio.
Right. A literal criminal. And like, I know personally a 12th house Scorpio who's a third-time felon. He's doing right now. But, you know, like it's the underworld energy for a reason. If you're not, Scorpio's either pure or they're in the underworld. And like, you know,
I don't know. I feel like we always just want to be the villain. You know, I always want to be the villain.
Which is really Aries, ironically.
Maybe that is my Aries.
Scorpio, right? Scorpio wants to be the villain, but they're low key the hero, and it's weird. But yeah, Aries don't give a fuck. They do whatever they want.
Let's talk a little bit about these planets going into Taurus, shall we? Mm-hmm. Okay, so today is April 15th. Would be tax day. Thanks to Uncle Joe and the good.
They pushed it back?
They pushed it back.
Oh, thank God.
What, you didn't do your taxes yet?
You know what?
You didn't get your shit together.
I do. I've been procrastinating, and I'm talking shit about Joe, but hey, I heard you were going to forgive loans, so what's up?
He's trying to, and apparently they're giving out more money for people. They're going to start qualifying, I think, to get like some support or checks or something for people who have kids. So there's some incentive to procreate this year, not just get married, but okay, maybe you'll get paid if you have babies.
Hey, if you're forgiving my loans, I will pretend to rock with you. I'm not gonna like, I'm not black anymore, but my loans are forgiven. That's what's up.
So today the sun sits at 26 degrees of Aries and Mercury's at 22 degrees of Aries. And recently, as of yesterday, Venus moved into Aries. So what am I saying? Taurus, yeah.
Oh, yesterday? So it ingressed 0 degrees. That's
yeah, so it's there right now.
Fun fact, our vice president, which anytime I say this, I think people think that I don't like this woman, and I'm only speaking facts. I love Libra. There's not a Libra woman who I don't really love. But other than that, you know, our vice president has Lucifer, 27 degrees Aries on her moon. If you think of Supernatural, how Lucifer needed a vessel to operate, and the sun being in its fall in Libra, and Gemini being an angel, which she has a rising, which she was destined to be where she is. I think that's kind of interesting that the devil may soon be our president. But other than that, you know, this Taurus energy is going to ground all our mutant power we've awakened. And I can't wait.
Did anything happen for you when Venus went into Taurus because it's your chart ruler?
I relapsed on my I realized that with Venus and Taurus, my taste buds are my superpower, so I can make shitty food taste like gourmet food.
Okay.
Yeah, if I had superpowers, that would be it.
Okay.
Not to like be super strong or jump, but just to eat any food and it just be exquisite, whether it was leftover pizza or filet mignon.
To eat anything, I mean, don't you, if that's the case, like anything that you eat would taste super good, like wouldn't you just basically like live on healthy food?
Oh, I didn't think about that.
I mean, trying to get those 6-pack abs.
You're right, and it would taste exquisite too. That's a really good, I mean, I'm just a savage. I just really like that grease. But like, I do need this 6-pack for that OnlyFans page. So
are you working on it?
Yeah. I mean, I'm walking like 3 miles a day and all that. But
well, you know, they say that better. Abs are made in the kitchen, not in the gym.
Ooh, that's true. I gotta stop walking and then eating carne asada fries at the end of the day and gaining more of those pounds back.
Do keto. I lost a lot of weight doing keto.
Is that like a meat diet?
I guess, yeah. I mean, I try to do it healthier, right? Like lots of like nut butters and seeds and avocados and like fatty fish and stuff. But I definitely just pretty much cut out, like I didn't eat any carbs. I didn't have any fruit. I didn't have any bread, any grains. And I would just eat like lots of eggs and fresh veggies and avocados and butter and whipped cream.
Shout out to Jax. He recommended the carnivore diet. So it's only meat.
Only meat.
But organic meat. It can't
but
be
don't you worry about cholesterol?
Well, if it's organic meat, you're straight. But if it's non-organic meat, you can't really.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
But if it's organic, you're straight.
My thing is I like bacon, like a lot.
Bacon is good.
Bacon is really good. So there's definitely a lot of like bacon and eggs, but it works if you can do it healthy. Now it's like, I like my wine, and occasionally I'll fall victim to like eating a donut or whatever. I like sweet things. So I've kind of fallen off a little bit, but I actually made a commitment. I'm going to try to do 3 months of being full pescatarian. Yeah. Which is a big deal for me because I don't really eat a lot of fruit. I mean, I don't eat a lot of fish, excuse me. So
sushi is amazing though.
Yes. Yeah, I'm a big sushi fan. All right, so Venus is in Taurus, and pretty soon
cuddle season is here.
The sun is going to meet up in Taurus as well pretty soon, and so will Mercury. Actually, the sun and Mercury both move into Taurus the same day on April 19th. And what's interesting is like from then on, the sun, Mercury, Venus are all in the same sign, and they're coming into close proximity with Uranus and Taurus. So one kind of time period that's most interesting to me actually starts on the 21st, when the sun and Mercury and Venus are there, but Venus gets within a 2-degree orb of Uranus, and Mars sits at 29 degrees of Gemini. So I think it's going to be interesting because the actual conjunction of Venus and Uranus is on the 22nd, and then Mercury will conjunct Uranus on the 23rd, and then the sun conjuncts Uranus on like the 29th and the 30th. So to wrap a little bit about that, you know, Uranus is unconventional. It's what's unexpected, and it's not comfortable in Taurus. We've seen this for the last couple of years, how like the markets have kind of been wild, and you've seen these roller coasters of everything goes up and then things go down. And I think it's just going to be an interesting time to pay attention, especially if you are Venusian or Venus ruled, or maybe you're in a Venus annual perfection year, you know, when Venus and Uranus touch, it's like electrifying, and it's what's unconventional and unusual. So that day, you may find that there's changes in your taste or your preferences. There's some need for revolution and freedom in a relationship, some sudden shift with priorities or with finances.
Lots of money. Lots of unexpected money.
I'm hoping so. From your mouth to God's ears, especially it's at a 10.
But it's squaring Saturn. So this is that unexpected money that comes that people who don't align with integrity will spend all of and then be broke forever, versus investing and be rich forever.
That's right. That's a good point, you know, because it's almost like it touches with Uranus, and that conjunction is powerful. I see conjunctions as power, kind of like, you know, upgrading or like plugging yourself into a socket, and you turn the light on and there's like this aha moment. But when it squares off with Saturn, that's kind of like the stop sign or like the speed bump where you get checked. So you want to be careful with decisions that you're making in regards to investments, or in regards to relationships or sudden changes in those departments, because within 2 days, you're going to get checked with the square. And then also you're going to see Mercury show up in conjunct Venus, square Saturn. So it's like, come the 25th, it's like, oh my God, did I really just buy like 300 shares of AMC and then it fucking dropped and went through the floor, right? Or maybe you win the lottery and then it's just like, I don't know.
You got to know what you're doing. That's very true. And I mean, there's always also this unconventional dynamics in relationships that will allude. I feel like an aspect like this will bring you with someone who's from a different walk of life than you, but you're into the same weird shit. And it's just going to be like, oh my God, I try to hide this from you, but you're into it. And you try to hide this to me, but I'm into it. And I think this transit is going to be life changing for every single Pluto Scorpio because of the opposition we have to it. Which is going to like ground all that deep, because no one else has that deep plutonic. I actually had a minor mental breakdown today, and just like a schizophrenic, I don't want to say schizophrenic, but like I was just going in by myself about how Pluto Scorpio as a generation has been experimented on, lied to. Like, people try to play us more than any generation, and then threw us under the bus, called us millennials, like we're not about to fucking clap back. After
you sold us on going to college and had us go
inherit
tens of thousands of dollars in debt just to further all of this, so that way we can graduate and then move back in with our parents and take a job at the mall.
And then have the economy crash because you want to reset it. And it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot, about the Uranus opposition that's coming, because this year it's going to get up to like Uranus will hit 14 degrees. So it'll be within 1 degree opposing my natal Pluto. Then it's going to retrograde, and then it's going to come back next year and oppose my Pluto, Sun, Mercury. So like in my mind, I think I've told you this, I'm like already kind of like, okay, like I need to start purging now. And like a lot of it's actually been good, because it's been me making major changes in what I'm eating.
Right.
So that was positive, but I don't know. I'm waiting to see what's going to happen. So are you into annual perfections?
No, I need to study that. I'm completely clueless about those.
Okay, so you're 30, right? Okay, so if you're...
I turned 31 in June.
So then you're in a 7th year annual perfection. So you want to watch for when...
Why 7?
Because your 30th year is your 7th house. So
really?
Yeah. So here's what's
I'm about
interesting.
to get married. Fuck.
You want to see when planets transit through your 7th house, and you have to watch when there are transits with the transiting 7th house ruler. So for you, it's Mars. So when things happen between Mars and Pluto.
Mars?
Yeah.
My 7th house ruler?
Yeah, because it's Scorpio.
I thought it was Pluto.
Okay. Pluto.
You like the ancient ruler.
Well, I look at both. Mars is going to move faster. And
right.
This year, Mars is going to oppose Pluto. So that'll really make something happen. But it's not always bad. Because for me, I was like thinking last year, I was like,
it's not always
oh my God,
bad.
I'm in a 7th house perfection year. And my moon's in the 7th house. And then there was a Mars retrograde in my 7th house. And I was like, I'm about to fucking have a character assassination. Like something something's going to happen. And actually, everything that happened was really good. It was a really good, it was a really very interesting.
So 31 is going to be 8th house, 32 is going to be 9th house, and then it resets at 12?
And then it resets at 12, yeah.
Oh,
so you can follow that every year and kind of get an idea of what's coming. And so
Peace dealer might get booed up this year.
I mean, it probably will happen. Especially when you see like your 7th house ruler meet with Venus. Or like if
at the end of the year, huh?
Right. Or like when Venus touches Pluto.
I'm going to be 31 by then. So will it be 8th house?
Then it'll be an 8th house year. And then the ruler of that is Saturn.
Or Jupiter, right?
It'll be about you making money with other people, from other people. Cause
isn't it Jupiter?
No, your 8th house ruler is Saturn because it's Capricorn.
It's Sagittarius.
Oh, it's Sag.
Taurus rising.
Oh, okay.
Well, do you go by the sun? Because can that work too?
I don't do it that way. No,
okay,
no. So it's Sag. So then it would be Jupiter. So then you want to look at when planets go through your 7th house, and then also if you're in an 8th house year and you're having eclipses, because there's going to be an eclipse in Sag. So I'm a super astrology nerd. I have never really like been super big into like Hellenistic astrology, but now I'm actually like going back. So that's a part of
Hellenistic astrology.
Yeah,
perfections. Okay.
That I'm learning about that and doing horary.
Okay, I need to master horary because that shit is legit.
Yeah, that is like really, really legit. Like you can find missing things and like all kinds of stuff.
I thought it was just for like sports bets.
No. I mean, if it's for sports bets, your girl's about to make some money. But
straight up.
Yeah, but you can ask it pretty much anything. And I started playing around with horary like 2 years ago, and then
find missing
people. It's for asking yes or no questions or for timing questions. So yeah, I'm kind of stoked because I'm about to like really seriously get into it. I have like Demetra George's book and Chris Brennan's book, and I've been like going through that and like learning more about Hellenistic. And
shout out to Chris Brennan.
Yeah,
the Midheaven Podcast Horary Astrology course coming soon.
That would be a cool course to teach, right? I mean,
how to win sports bets and find missing items with the natal chart.
That would be great for me because I'm always missing my vape pen, and I live right down the street from a sports book, which I like to go to.
Nice.
Yeah, I like my football.
What's up?
Are we missing anything?
It was a Scorpio, by the way, with a Cancer moon who introduced it to me. He's like, "Oh yeah, I pull up the horary charts between two teams, and I know who's gonna win." And that was the first time that concept was introduced.
You should have never told me that, because like now that's all I'm gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm gonna do. He was
obsessed with it too because it worked for him. So he knew the numbers and shit, and like, dude swore by it. I wish I still talked to him too. He kind of came in and out, but. Yeah, shout out to that dude.
I'm into that though, because like I was learning more about, because my North Node's in my 5th house, and so Jupiter's there, and I've been learning about like, oh, it's about like gambling and like betting, and I was like thinking, what should I be betting on? And the conclusion I've come to after several weeks of studying is I need to go to a horse track, which is funny because I used to go to horse tracks all the time when I was little, and I would pick horses.
Chinese zodiac.
Oh, okay.
This really tastes like peanut butter. I'm astounded.
I don't usually drink that, so I wouldn't know. I'm so amazed. And I'm supposed to go and play roulette, but it's Aquarius, so it's digital roulette, which is hilarious because like I've made money doing that this last 6 months.
Roulette is my favorite game. Like I don't really like to play I want to learn how to play craps. I don't know how to play craps.
Oh, I'll teach you how to play craps.
I need to know how to play that. I feel like I would be able to, because once I get my psychic abilities unlocked, I'm gonna be like, it's gonna be red, it's gonna be black, it's gonna be red. Like, get out the fucking table.
And I'm crazy too, because if I'm playing it on the machines, I just start hitting buttons and like doubling down and like adding all kinds of stuff on lines, and then I'll turn like $50 into like $500. I don't fuck around. Yeah.
I'm about to be her casino apprentice.
Especially when I get a couple drinks in me, I'm like, fuck it. Here's $100. Have fun. We'll have to make like a group outing or something.
With it.
Yeah, I was talking about. I think it would be funny eventually when the world starts opening up again to do like a man on the street, where maybe we'll like go out to Fremont and like talk to people.
I can't wait. Like that's actually what I wanted to do when I moved here, and to like I was like, I'm gonna be so productive. I'm not gonna be a hermit anymore. I'm gonna go out, quarantine, stay your ass at home. I was like, all right, this is a sign. I'm gonna just be a hermit for the rest of my life.
It was good though for your studying and stuff. Started on your moon.
I mean, I realized I was destined to graduate because weird shit would happen in my career in college that like would never happen. Like I remember vividly everyone failing a test in differential equations, and we got an A for it. Like I got an A in that class and I failed every test. And then even here in UNLV, because I was at UTEP, like because of the coronavirus, I failed a class, but it just so happened at that year, they're like, hey, if you failed a class or if you got like a D minus, you can pass anyway. And I was like, oh my God. Because there was already starting to be school shooting. I never even told anyone that story. So I went to class and I went to the bathroom. And for some weird ass reason, I was just like, what if there was a school shooting today? Oh my God, no. What would I do if there was a school shooting? Like, how would I use karate moves to get away from this? And I was simulating myself like holding the gun down and like, no, leave. Okay, less than 24 hours later, UNLV emails us, there's been gun threats about people who are going to shoot this, and that. And I was like, I need to get the fuck out of this school in case, you know, this school is the next to have a school shooting. That's why I was like, I need to graduate ASAP.
That's kind of sad when you think about it.
Otherwise, I would have got my minor in business, but I was like, fuck that. I'm out of this bitch. Because I wanted to use their podcasting room too.
Yeah.
But
what was your major?
Communications.
Oh, okay, of course.
Yeah. Minoring in business. I literally had 2 more classes and I would have had the minor. So I still consider I have the minor, but because I took those classes too. I just dropped them. But I got my communications, got the fuck out there.
But you can still use that though. I mean, obviously you're using it.
It's on the transcript.
Yeah, for me, it was like when I went to school, I was like, cool. So I want to do cultural anthropology with a minor in theology. And I was either going to be like Indiana Jones or I really wanted to be a nun, actually.
I wanted to be a theologian.
Yeah.
And then I realized the Bible is not inerrant and has been rewritten and re-edited. And that's what really opened me up to this journey. And
that it's actually a book of spells.
That too. That's
Shout out
been
to Psalms.
dumbed down and basically used to syncretize and mislead a lot of people, because I feel like there's the original biblical text and that is so unrecognizable from what we have now, given little changes here and there, because there's still the central message of Christ. But for those of you who are not graduated in college, haven't gone to college, from someone who has graduated, and I've been a professional student, I've been in college for over 10 years. Like, if you're not getting a professional degree, don't fucking waste your time in college. The only reason why I went back to college was because my mother wanted the degree. That's my mother's degree. Okay. And I worked hard for that to get that word. Okay. I became successful without a degree. I dropped out, made $100,000 and just came back from my mom. So that taught me that, you know, if you're being a doctor, if you're being a lawyer, get that proper schooling. But we're in an age where you can watch Harvard classes online. There's no reason you should be taking out student loans and putting yourself in debt.
Hopefully we're
for education
follow
that should be
suit
free.
with like other countries and what other countries are doing that are, you know, encouraging education and providing education. And
it should be free.
It should be free. And if you're really passionate about being a doctor or being a vet, then great. Or a lawyer, whatever it is that you want to do. I mean, I'm hoping that people actually have to go to school to be a doctor or a lawyer in case I need one.
But if it's not a professional degree, stop wasting your fucking time. Like, live your life. Get some experience doing some work. Because corporations and employers are going to want to look for people with experience, not people with book smart knowledge. And thankfully, I can pursue an MBA or a master's now that I have my degree. I didn't know you didn't need a master's to get a PhD. So I'm not going to hate on the value of an education, but it's overpriced fun and you're getting finessed. Like, this could be totally free and we shouldn't have to pay for it.
I kind of agree with you on that. But I think it's also, we're kind of privileged because we live in a country where it's just, the American dream is like, okay, if there's a will, there's a way, and you'll be successful. And certainly it's possible, but I don't know, man. I kind of feel like if you're not going to school for something you're passionate about, you're wasting your time.
Completely.
Right? Because we have way too many people that are working jobs because they feel like they have to, or they feel like they have to pay the bills, and then they turn around and they're 45, and then they have a midlife crisis, and they can't figure out why they're miserable. That's what I love about astrology. I hope we can get to a point where we can start kind of introducing that almost
Uranian
in like
opposition.
almost like in a way where you were to speak to like a counselor and they would give you like career advice, like what if you could just talk to an astrologer when you're like 15, 16, 17 years old and go like, all right, cool, like this is what would probably make you happy and like this is what you're really good at. I'm hoping we get to that point culturally, because I think we'll have a lot happier adults and a lot less depressed people and a lot less suicides, and maybe we would have parents that would support what their children are naturally gifted in, rather than, you know, shoving down medical school down their throats, or, you know, telling them they have to be successful in sports. I mean, imagine looking at your kid's chart and knowing like they could be the next Michael Jordan, or that they'd be an excellent florist, or like whatever, you know, just like knowing from the get-go what they would be good at and then being able to nurture that. That's
so true.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what I love about what we do, because we're one of the pioneers. You had the Pluto Virgo pioneers, the Pluto Libra, Pluto Leo, and we're the Pluto Scorpio pioneers. That, you know, we're there's so much disinformation about astrology that now that we're accelerating the progress with the internet, us talking about it, you watching this are also a part of the revolution, making this more normalized, because astrology as a discipline, as a science, as an art, does so much to enrich so many lives. You start to realize why it began to be demonized by higher ups that deliberately spread this disinformation and also ignorance, so that people stay, you know, because astrology just helps you know yourself. And once you know yourself, you're going to really think twice about the rules you're supposed to follow.
Well, astrology also used to be utilized by medical doctors, by practitioners
who knew what they were doing.
Yeah, and they used astrology to better understand and cure and diagnose and all kinds of things. So it's like we've come so far from that, obviously. I mean, I know that like astrology made a comeback in like the 60s with like the horoscope columns and like the Pluto and Virgo generation and all the hippies and stuff. But you know, when you think about it, I mean, especially there's so many branches of astrology. Like the medical astrology is just so...
Is the best branch. And I don't know anything about medical astrology, but my sister it goes to school in Stanford. She's always wanted to be a singer her whole life. And like when Jupiter was in Cancer, she taught me astrology. Like she broke down masculine energy and feminine energy. And she has a Gemini moon, Libra rising. So after that, she went on to being super skeptical about it, because she saw Neil Tyson deGrasse break down the bias that is prevalent in astrology. So the woman who like taught me this was skeptical about it. Like, she didn't teach me what I know, but she really helped me understand it more as a Cancer sun. Her sun is right on my Jupiter. So like she's my guru. And like it's crazy because now full circle, she's like, you know what? I rolled my eyes when you told me that Saturn was in your 9th house and you were going to graduate way later. And then you actually graduated at the exact time you told me. And now I'm starting to like little things like that made her take it more seriously. And now she's getting into medical astrology, and she diagnosed my diet based on my chart. Yeah. And since I'm like earth air, she's like, you don't even need to work out. You just need to walk and all that stuff. And she's killing it. She has her degree in chemistry, but she's in Stanford for an MD PhD program. And like, you know, I feel like the future of astrology is medical astrology. For sure. Yeah. And that financial astrology. Financial astrology. I've been watching a lot of that recently. And yeah, I don't know. It's so fascinating. All the different You can monitor the markets of crypto and stock with the moon cycle alone. Yeah. And know like what it'll be like. Which and those like, markets have been insane recently. All right. Well, I think that's everything. That was a pretty solid episode. Episode 11. Yes, 11. I guess that's it. And we will be back next week giving you guys all the cosmic goodies. Thank you for the love and support. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. We're trying to get our subscribers up, and we have something extra special coming for you guys very soon to promote that for something we're doing this summer. So we'll be releasing that through social media pretty soon. Stay tuned. Otherwise, I better not have my 6-pack by then or it's over. I'm gonna do strip tarot, all that. Catch her on my OnlyFans, Lord Michael. We'll see you guys soon. Take care.